wherever you are watching this video from. So as always, I'm here today for a very special tip, another and very helpful tip I bring to your field today. So this particular spiritual recipe we are going to discuss today is one of the popular problems. It's one of the popular recipe, one of the spiritual work being talk of all around the globe, and it's one of the popular challenges that people always face. And if I don't lose the count, at least it will be more than 10 times I will hear people complaining of the thing. And if you check very well on this channel, we've dropped a video concerning that. So but because of the constant requirement, constant complaint, so I have to make a second part of it. So and again we'll still do more of it. But this particular tip I want to share with you today has really been helpful to those who are facing this particular spiritual challenges. It has been a lot of help. It has helped many that has this particular spiritual problem. And what is the particular problem we're talking about is according, as you can see in the title of the video, it is the spiritual challenges of promise and fail. It's a situation whereby someone will promise you things and at the end of the day they will not fulfill it. And what is meaning, before we even go to the spiritual thing we want to discuss today, we need to know what is this thing and how does it affect people. How does this thing affect you to know that okay, you are facing this particular spiritual challenges? What are the signs you will notice and say okay, particularly you are facing this particular spiritual problems? So what we are going to discuss today. So just like I said, what is the meaning of these spiritual problems, popularly known as promise and fail? Well, I used to say this. I said there's nothing like maybe promise and fail. Don't quote me wrong. There's nothing like it. The reason why I said that is the name promise and fail was just given to it because the way it affects, the way the thing manifests in your life will make you think that's the spiritual problem. Normally, before the so-called promise and faith can be manifesting in your life, there are some spiritual problems that is attached to it. It's just like when someone is has contacted a maybe a gonorrhea or something. It is a sign to, it is a symptoms to many diseases. When you have contacted maybe when you contacted a diseases, maybe for example now, maybe you contracted the diseases and there are some symptoms it will be given. So the diseases will not be the one affecting you instantly. There are some symptoms it will be given, maybe headache, maybe not breathing well, all sort of symptoms it will be bringing. And the same thing is applicable to this so-called spiritual problem we call promise and fail. So it's one of the symptoms you will see when you are being spiritually affected, when you are being spiritually hurt, when you are not spiritually balanced. So it's one of the signs of things you will notice. So the reason why I said there's nothing like it is just because the way it manifests, the way it shows in your life make you believe that that's the problem you are having. But no, that's not it. It's just a symptom, one of the symptoms of spiritual challenges, that when you are having a spiritual problem, one of the signs, one of the symptoms, one of the implications of it is that promise and fail you'll be having. So, and one of the way this thing affects people is that maybe someone promise you and they don't fulfill it. They promise you and at the end of the day they don't fulfill it. Or if you are a woman, normally you can be beautiful and you no man will notice you, no man will notice you. And if you are a man too, so you just be having a crash relationship crash marriage, all sort of things like that. So those are the symptoms of having a spiritual bond, a spiritual problems. So this promise and fail was just given a name. In a spiritual realm, it is not known as that. So because before it will be affecting you, there are something that has been wrong somewhere. There's something wrong somewhere before that one is manifesting in your life. So normally, if you are looking for any way out, so make sure you are spiritually balanced as well, because normally you will say, okay, this is the particular issue I'm facing. So you should just treat yourself spiritually and make sure you are spiritually balanced, so that you will get rid of all those spiritual problems that this promise and fail of a thing is one of it. So and actually it's one of the reasons we are making this. And this particular tip is going to help you. We are going to follow it very well. Although I'm just going to give you some description of it, and I think this one is not very cumbersome to do or very cumbersome to perform. So we just 4 items we are going to need for this. We are going to need just 4 items for this thing. So, and if you can get the 4 items, I'm very sure you will have a very huge changes, a very positive changes concerning this particular problem, and you can go and watch most of the videos we've dropped concerning this particular thing, concerning this particular challenges and all sort of spiritual challenges that might be facing the humanity. So we drop a lot concerning spiritual bondage, all sort of things like that. You can go and watch those ones too. But particularly this morning, we are basically talking of this popular spiritual problem because it's one of the things that people normally discuss. But I've given you the facts, the true meaning, and the true definition of it, so that you will know that what is causing it. So people will be wondering what is causing vomit and failure, all sort of things. So it's a symptoms of a spiritual imbalance, spiritual problem, spiritual deterioration. It is one of the issue, it's one of the symptoms. You will notice that, you will know that, okay, I'm having this particular spiritual problem. So this morning we are going to need just let's say just 4 items, and this thing is very simple. So I'm just going to give you this description. Go and do it perfectly the way I'm going to recommend, and I'm very sure it will yield a very good result. So what are the items? The first one is to go and get a bitter leaf, a fresh bitter leaf. Go and get it, a fresh bitter leaf. Go and get the one that it's fresh, and maybe you just cultivate it in a day. The fresh bitter leaf. Then a salt, natural salt, not this the one that is you can buy the one. It is good to buy the one that normally in Nigeria, where you want to buy a salt, there will be those market seller, all those women will wrap in a nylon by themselves, not the one that will be packed from the company. So it's better to buy that one. But if you cannot get that one, you can use any salt, in as much as it's a table salt and a natural salt. You will buy that one, and again you will need a palm oil and a shea butter. So those are the 4 items, and a soap. You are going to need the soap. So those are the 5 items you are going to get. So this is how you will do it. When you get the bitter leaf and you make sure it is fresh, it is cultivated in a day and it's still fresh. Don't use a dried bitter leaf. I cannot guarantee the result if you use the dried bitter leaf. So this particular one, you are going to pound the bitter leaf in a mortar, in a on a stone or anything that you make sure you will turn the thing to, just like when you want to grind the pepper, you grind it to a mixture. You grind it into a very soft mixture. When you grind it very well, then you will put small salt. Just a spoon of salt is okay. Just a spoon of salt is okay. You put it in with the grinded bitter leaves. So when you put it there, then you will now add enough soap. Enough soap. You can use any soap. You can use white soap. You can use this local black soap. Any soap that you know can be mixed with those things. You know there are some soap. No, and if you are using this the soap in the one that the bar soap, if you want to use the bar soap, the white one, maybe just like Lux or some other white soap that you will need to squeeze it. You need to use a knife to cut it into smaller pieces so that it can be mixed with those soap, and you will find it, you will grind it again. So now when you mix the salt with the bitter leaf that has been grinded already, you will mix the salt very well. When you mix the salt, a spoon of salt is okay, because when you add enough, when you have add many salt, maybe more than a spoon, when it is time to be using the spiritual work, the thing will be very hard. It will become very hard. There are some content in salt that make things very hard, most especially the soap. So it's better to add a spoon. Just a spoon is okay. Then you will add enough soap. After you have mixed the salt with the bitter leaf, you will add enough soap that will be okay for you. When you add enough soap, you will now mix everything together. You will grind it or pound it very well and make sure the mixture is mixed with the soap and everything. Then you will now use a little palm oil, maybe a cup of palm oil or just a spoon as well, to mix everything again. You will use hand to mix the soap that has been mixed with the bitter leaf and salt, and mix palm oil with it. You mix everything, you will mix everything very well, and you will put it into a bowl, into a plastic. Just make sure you are using a white plastic. You put it into a white plastic, put it there. This thing I'm sharing with you is working very fine, and then I'm just giving you one importance of it. So the thing, when you start using it, might be working for some other things it will be helping you in a lot of ways. It will be even helping your business. Aside from this so-called spiritual imbalance of promise and faith, there's a lot of spiritual importances, spiritual benefit attached to this spiritual work we are sharing. So when everything is mixed, you will put it into a white a plastic bowl that has cover. Then you will now cut a little shea butter, put it on it. A little shea butter, put it on it, and take it to on top of the roof, so that the sun, it must be the mystery about this work is, it must be the sun that will melt the shea butter. The sun will melt, the sun from the sky will melt, the sun will melt the shea butter into the mixture, into a liquid. So you will put it there. Let's say you take the spiritual things you do, spiritual mixture you've done, into that white stick, into that white plastic. Then you will take it on your roof or anywhere it will be facing the sky in the morning. So when it is maybe you do it in the morning, maybe by 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. When you take it in the sky by 1 p.m., there will be sunlight. So the sunlight will melt the shea butter, and that is what we need. So when the sunlight melt the shea butter, you now mix the content. You go and take it for where you put it, on your roof or anything. Just make sure it is not on the bare floor. So you go and take it and mix everything together, both the melted shea butter and the prepared soap. You mix everything. You use your hand to mix everything. When you mix everything, you will you will dress it very well and cover it instantly. Cover it instantly and go and put it in your wardrobe or anywhere that's very safe. So now when you do that, you can go and wash your hand. You will cover it for like 3 days before you start using it, for like 3 days, and you will be using it early in the morning. You will be using it early in the morning before the sun will come out. Early in the morning, anything from 7 a.m. to 10. So that's the latest time you can use it. So it's good to use it as early as possible. You will put little on the sponge, pray to it concerning the whatever you are facing or these particular spiritual challenges. Use it before you go to your work. If you are not going out, use it early in the morning. Then go and sit back and see a huge changes that will happen in your life. So things will start happening, and this thing is exclusively for people that have subscribed. Just make sure you go down there, subscribe, and share it with others. You are permitted to share it. Help your cousin, help your families, share it for your friend. Let them be saved. Don't be stingy. But the fact that we come online to share this publicly, so I don't see anything bad if you share this particular thing for your friend, your family, so they can also subscribe and benefit from this kind of thing we are going to share, because there's still a lot of it. And the third episode of this kind of spiritual work will be coming next on your screen very soon. So share this one and come back here for the testimony. Let us know what are the things you noticed after using this thing. But I'm very sure a very huge changes will take place in your life if you do this just like I recommended. A very huge changes will take place, and you will come back here for a positive testimony and a good testimony. So once again, I still remain your spiritual doctor, Ifajimi Fakayode. So don't forget to subscribe, share, please share and subscribe so that this thing can work for you. One thing people don't know about spiritual work is it's not by seeing something online. If whoever give you the thing is not happy with it, there's no way it will work. So if this thing you take credit for it without giving the credit to I that share it, then the thing, you will say the thing is not working for you. So to commend the effort, subscribe and share. Let this thing go viral and help others, so that we can be motivated to give you a lot of things. So thank you once again, and remain blessed.